Okay. Oh. सदाशिव समारंभां शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तां वंदे गुरु परंपराम् वसुदेव सुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानंदं कृष्णं वंदे जगद्गुरुम्. And then we'll say, I'd say all the time, and during number of time during the day also I say, but anytime I have Bhagavad Gita session, we start with shlok number 7 of second chapter, which is Arjun's Prarthana to Bhagwan. And to answer that Prarthana, the entire Bhagavad Gita came out. Bhagwan answered that one Prarthana and then whole teaching came out. So seventh shloka, second chapter. कार्पण्य दोषो उपहत स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्म सम्मूढ़ चेताः यत् श्रेयस्यात् निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्ते अहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. You can imagine Bhagwan is standing and we, like Arjun, we are saying, Bhagwan, we are confused, which we many times. So I'm so I'm not able to decide what is the Shreya. Shreyas means the best out of me. It's like that. And we'll see, entire Bhagavad Gita is all about the best out of me is not for myself, the best for everyone. That is Shreyas. What is good for me is Preyas. Pri and Shreya, though there are two words. So Arjuna has asked, Nit Shreyas Syat Nishchitam Bhume. Tell me what is Shreyas. A smart student, right? And then Shishyaste Ham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. Guide my buddhi. Shadimam means guide my buddhi. Shishyaste Ham. I surrender to you. Shishya means who surrender. Surrender in the sense with Shraddha, not giving up. And he says, just guide me. And the entire Bhagavad Gita is answer to that one prarthana. And then Bhagavan continued. And then he allowed Arjun to ask questions, and Bhagavan responded. And we are seeing that. We are on 12th chapter. So we are on 12th chapter. Very quickly we'll recap the previous session, which was chapter number 10 and 11. 10 was Vibhuti, means Bhagwan's glory. And 11 is Bhagwan's Vishwarup. We saw the Vishwarup darshan. You can watch anytime in Mahabharata. Many places are there on videos, Bhagwan's Virat Roop, right? Vishwarup. So first 6 chapters, Bhagwan talked about. Arjun's question was like this. Who am I? I'm confused. I'm deluded. Karpanya dosho. Upahata. So the first 6 chapter about Bhagwan told who you are. And we saw that. And that is called Gyan, Atma Gyan. I forget that who am I? And then Bhagwan explains that you are that Atma, not this body. This is temporary and material. And that is first 6 chapter. Now 7th to 11th, Bhagwan talked about himself. The 7th, Bhagwan talked about his lower nature. And in fact, 10th chapter, he says, I am the tree, I am the river. He says the best of the best. And then 11th May, he showed his Vishwarup that. So 10th chapter, everything, Bhagwan is in everything. And 11th chapter, everything is in Bhagwan. It's like that. So Vibhuti and Vishwarup. And then we saw that. So that is what up to 11th chapter. So for us, the teaching is Bhagwan said, yes, one place he said that I am, in all yagyas, I am jap yagya. So yagya in the sense, any type of puja, ritual we can say. So Bhagwan says the best ritual, easiest way to reach me is jap. And that's why he says yagyanam jap yagyo asmi. I am, and that's what the lesson for us, like Bhagwan ka naam jap is the key. And that with that we'll enter into 12th chapter, right? So jap yagya is the best, so easiest. It doesn't need any props. It doesn't need any gadgets. It doesn't need any long process. It's jap, Ram Ram Ram. That's good enough. Or Om No Shiva, Om No Shiva. That is good enough. Or any name you like. That's what Bhagwan says. And then he says at the end of the 11th chapter to Arjun. And Bhagwan is not allowing Arjun to run away from his Swadharma. That is the entire teaching is that. In spite of giving all this, Bhagwan is making sure that he doesn't forget his Swadharma. At this point, his Swadharma is to continue this yuddha. It is not about war, it is the Dharma yuddha. But Bhagwan, at the end of the 11th chapter, Bhagwan wants that Nimitta Matra Bhav Savyasachin. Very famous shloka of Bhagavad Gita. Nimitta Matra Bhav Savyasachin. He says, Nimitta Matra means you are just the instrument. And last time I said when we closed that Shakespeare's poem, and it says that world is a stage, and everyone has an entry and exit point in the script. So you come, the artist or players, role players, they come to the stage. When the role is over, you go out of the stage. Same, he says exactly what Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan is saying. You just become an instrument. So we ended last time that there is a Niyanta, which is Bhagwan. There is a word called Niyanta. Niyanta means the controller or facilitator, like sun. Example is sun. Sun facilitates the life on the earth. Sun doesn't come and say, "Oh, you get up," or you get. Sun just comes out and life. So Bhagwan is like that, all pervading Bhagwan. For us, that's why we do prarthana and bhajan, dhyan. Then this something comes out, that is Bhagwan, all pervading. So that is Niyanta. And then there is a Niyati, which we call it in English destiny. And we all know that nobody can change the destiny. It is there. We say that you can keep trying, but what is going to happen. Because of various laws, like law of karma, but destiny. That is called Niyati. So there is a Niyanta, which is Bhagwan, the facilitator, controller. But Bhagwan doesn't change. There is a Niyati, which is destiny, or we call it the life cycle, whatever. And there is a Nimitta, that is instrument, which is you, the role player. So Bhagwan told Arjun, you do the yuddha, lekin you are only Arjun, remember the role player, that's it. Be the instrument. Don't take charge, I'm going to, I'm the best and I'm going to do this. No. Bhagwan says, just play the role. Nimitta matra. So Niyanta, Niyati and Nimitta. That's it. So we let us be Nimit and let the Niyanta guide us with the script. And we cannot change the script, but we can play the script well if I am smart. Like when the smart players or artists or like stage artists or movie artists, when they're smart, they use the script and play so well that this is a real role, but it's just playing the role. And that's what Bhagavad Gita is all about, right? Bhagavan says even you're doing karma, but you just be the player. Don't take charge. I'm going to do that. And that's what the famous slok says, karmanye vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachan. That's what Bhagavan says. Just continue what is assigned to you, your duty. Don't take control of the result. That's the problem. When you take control of the result, there is anxiety, and if you success and failure and depression and all things happen. Just enjoy the game. It's like that. So that's what the essence was up to 11th. So now we enter into 12th chapter. So the title of the 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga. So before we get into the chapter, very quickly, Bhakti is a very famous, like a lot of people say in Bhagavad Gita. Some people say, I like Karma Yoga of Bhagavad Gita, and some people say I like Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga of Bhagavad Gita. Some people say Bhakti Yoga. So let's be very clear. There are not three things here. I know scholars have they have written books on that, which is for a context they written, not to confuse, but people got confused. So there is no separation here. It's like I always give the example of that Indian chivda. Chivda we eat. Chivda is called chivda because all the ingredients are there. If you take just murmura, you won't enjoy that chivda taste. You can enjoy murmura or sev or some other things, or the sing dana or peanuts. So chivda, when everything is mixed, and then you enjoy chivda. So Bhagavad Gita is like that. So there's no separate bhakti, separate gyan, separate karma. It's all one. It's all one. So let's not get confused. Bhakti is separate. But now 12th chapter, Bhagavan is talking about the bhakti. So bhakti word has come from a root word called bhaj. Bhaj, there are multiple meanings of bhaj in Sanskrit, root word. Bhaj, one is that we can divide, we can share, we can relish or serve. There are many various meaning, but that's the reason our acharyas or shastra, they have used this bhakti word, because here you're sharing. Bhakti means a love, like the thread is a love. That so love, in love you share, right? And then you serve. In bhakti is a serving, right? A surrender, a samarpan we call it, right? And then bhakti is to relish, to enjoy. When you are in love with someone, with Bhagwan, we're talking, there is a joy also. So that's why this bhakti word has come very nicely. My keyboard is giving some problem, but anyway, let's ignore that. But that's the reason bhakti word is used here. So there are three ways we, in our Ved or Shastra also, they are defined. There is a karma, there is a jnana, there is a karma, and there is a bhakti. That's the popular, or upasana. Bhakti and upasana sometimes used alternatively. So this is bhakti yoga. So we'll see now. So in essence, bhakti is that. So just to make sure that we understand the word bhakti. So with that, we'll enter into the chapter, right? So it is 12th chapter. Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Ath Dvadashodhyayah. It's a very small chapter, 20 shloks, right? And now Arjun is asking, 11th chapter, Bhagavan, when last shloka of 11th chapter, Bhagavan says, just surrender to Matparaha. Matparaha means I am the ultimate goal, the Bhagavan. With that, Arjun, continue your yuddha. Don't worry. So now Arjun has a question. So, and that's the beauty of that. Bhagavan explained, he asks questions, and Bhagavan answers again. So Arjuna Uvacha, the chapter starts with that. Evam satata yukta ye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So Arjun is asking, if you can read in detail whenever you have time, but right now with limited time, we just go over. So what Arjun is asking, there are two types of devotees, which is very known. One is a manifest Bhagwan, like we say Krishna as a Murti, Durga or Shivji. I want to see the Murti as a manifest, right? But there are, we call it Nirakar. This is called Sakar, with form. Bhagwan is in the form, maybe in the tree or in the river. Everything is a form. Vishwarup Darshan, Bhagwan showed to Arjun, he is a form. Now Arjun knows that there is a one other people in Bharat also, like in Sanatan Dharma. You can do Nirakar Bhakti, like Guru Nanak Dev. He said Nirakar Bhakti. Bhagwan doesn't have one form. That's why we came up with the symbol Om. Om represents Bhagwan, because Om doesn't have particular form. It's like a primordial sound, Om. So they just came up with Om. Om doesn't have particular form. So they came up, you can just meditate. That's why our term Brahman doesn't have a form. Brahman, the word Brahman means which is ever expanding, which is all pervading. Everything about Brahman. It's like somebody asks, if you want just taste the sea water and it is salty. Where is the salt? It's salty water. But where is the salt? It is all over the water. You cannot say, oh, here is the salt in the entire ocean is, so Bhagwan is like that. Those called Nirakar. I mean, there's no particular form. So Arjun is asking, which is easier? Now, because he saw Vishwarup Darshan and he knew, Arjun, that there are people. I mean, when we do dhyan, you don't have to just have the image of Bhagwan. So he's asking, which is easier or which you think the better? But Arjun's question, right? So, and now Bhagwan is going to answer that. And that's what the chapter is all about, bhakti. So I'm not going to read all three shlokas. So second shlok, Shri Bhagwan Uvacha, Mayyaveshya mano ye mam nitya yukta upasate shraddhaya parayopetaha te me yukta tamamata. So Bhagwan is saying, yeah, there are two ways we can sakar and nirakar, manifest or unmanifest Bhagwan. We can worship Bhagwan, right? But Bhagwan is saying, doesn't matter. Second and third shlok, all Bhagwan is explaining, second, third, and fourth. But what he is saying, Shraddhaya parayopeta, doesn't matter whatever way you do that, as long as you have Shraddha. Upeta means upasana, puja. With Shraddha, whether you take Krishna Murti or whether you take Amurt Bhagwan, maybe Surya Bhagwan, there is no form like this. Or close your eyes and think of divinity. Like there are people in modern world, there are scholars, they'll say that uh, God is an energy or it is higher power. People say that. You can listen to many people say that there is a higher power. Yeah, there doesn't have to be any form, but there is a power. So most of the people, whether they are in form or non-form, they accept there is someone higher than me. In fact, I'll tell you, I'm not deviating, but very quick example, it's good. Elon Musk, he says, I'm not a religious person. I don't pray, I don't worship. He's interviewed somebody, asked, and he said, you know, he said only one time in my life, the first time when he launched the satellite, and the guy, two people went there, and they went for like few seconds and came back from space, right? So he said, first time I prayed, first satellite when he launched, first time I prayed for their safe return. Prayed. He also made the prayer. Prayer to whom? Prayer to someone higher than you. So even person like Elon Musk also say there is someone beyond me. And that is what. So Hamare Sanatan, that's what Sanatan Dharma is, stands out in all this, that it allows you to create a form. There are other traditions, they say, no, you cannot even write name of God, Bhagwan. He said, okay, our kids say, make Ganesh yourself. And they are making a little Ganesh, right, with clay, or draw the picture of Krishna. That is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma. That they say, oh, you can worship unmanifest also if you want. But if you want, here is that. So, and then Bhagwan is saying, Arjun, the third shlok, he says, ye, I think fourth shlok. Yeah. So fifth shlok, Bhagwan says, Klesho adhik taras tesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham deha vadbhiravapyate. He's saying the people who with body like us, we are born and we are raised to see the people relationship. Oh, here's me, here's my friend, here is my mother, here's my father, because we are all body centric people. So Bhagavan says it is very difficult for a body centric person sometimes to imagine unmanifest divinity, Bhagavan. So Arjun, it is easier for people like you now, because Arjun, Bhagavan knows Arjun is a grahast. Arjun is like a human being, normal. He's not a sadhu sannyasi sitting in Himalaya. So Bhagavan says, people like you. So here's a message for us also. We are all grahast. For us, because we are body centric, I always want to see something similar to me. It's easier. Oh, here is a Krishna similar to you. Here is a Ram similar to you. He is a brother. He is a husband. He is a son. Oh, it's easy to relate. That's what our rishis were very smart. And that's what Bhagavan took avatar. Avatar means he came in the human form to show to us that you can always you can also live like this, like Sita ji or Durga ji. That's the beauty of Sanatana Dharma. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. It's easy for people who have body to relate to image. So Bhagavan says, but both, if in any case, even if you don't want to worship the form, close your eyes and think of Brahman or think of divinity. Like when I will do the meditation sometime, I said sometime I have meditation classes in my office also. So I tell people, I give example of the same. And they typically it's like Abrahamic people, non-Hindu group. They follow me. So I tell them, because they don't have that that there is a God, right? They say there is God, but you can't see. And I tell them that you sit in the park while you're meditating, in the process of meditation, and you see the leaf is blowing, shaking. Who's doing it? Wind. Oh, where is wind? I ask, do you see the wind? No, I don't see the wind. But you know the wind? Yeah, I know the wind. How do you? I feel the wind. That's it. You feel Bhagwan. You feel the divinity. And they say, okay, they feel in the form of Krishna now. He's a makan, he's eating the makan, or he's doing ras. So it's easier. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. But in all conditions, make sure that Shraddha is there. So we will move forward. So what is the time? Okay. So now from shlok number 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11. The fourth shlok, Bhagwan is giving not 4 types. People call it. There are 4 ways you do bhakti. It's very well explained in Bhagavad Gita. You can read in detail later on sometime. But 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, there are 4 ways you can do bhakti. I mean, you can do you don't do bhakti, but you follow this and bhakti sprout from within us. It's like that. Bhakti, you cannot drink bhakti, you cannot eat bhakti. And whenever I talk bhakti and gyan, I think some of you may not know, but I understand the best bhakti and gyan because my daughter is bhakti and son is gyan. So whenever I read Bhagavad Gita or anything and I talk about bhakti and gyan, and that's why I say there's no difference. Bhagwan is also saying there is no difference. People say bhakti, gyan, karma, there are no, they're all one. Because I know for me, they are both same, my daughter and son. So that's what Bhagwan is saying. So there are 4, 8, 9, 10th, 11th. Very nice shlok. We'll go over very quickly. But these are 4 ways Bhagwan says you can sprout that bhakti, you can produce that bhakti from within yourself. It's not outside. So 8th shlok, Bhagwan says, Mayyeva man adhatsa, Mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivsishyasi mayyeva, at urdham na samshaya. Bhagwan is saying, so there is a term called Mayi buddhim niveshaya, second part of the shlok. Nivesh word is Sanskrit word, and the meaning of nivesh is, in English, if we translate in modern English way, it is called investment or enter into something. Nivesh is in Bharat, it is used, nivesh is used for investment. In the banking and all those places, they use nivesh word. So Bhagavan is saying, Mai buddhim nivesha, using your intellect, invest in me. Look at that. Invest means you are completely, that's called samarpan. So the first thing is samarpan. Samarpan means, again, samarpan means with shraddha, not giving up. Giving up is running away. He's with shraddha. So first thing, nivesh. Nivesh means mayyev man adat. So establish your mind in me, and that's investment. So Bhagavan says, do that. That is the first one. And Bhagavan says, if you do that, there's no doubt that you will not rise. The spiritual elevation will bound to happen. The urdhvam word is there. Bhagavan says, after that, you will establish in me. You'll always relish in me. So basically spiritual elevation. You feel you are spiritually elevated. So that is first. The 9th shlok. The second, Bhagavan says, he's giving option now. अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यास योगेन ततः माप इच्छामतुं धनंजय. Bhagavan is saying, if you cannot do that, Arjun, like we give to kids, little kids, option. Or you want to do your homework? Oh, I am okay. Do this, then we'll give you. If you cannot do this, do so. Like same thing, he's giving option to Arjun. He's saying, if you cannot do that, Arjun, the another option is right. Abhyasa yogena tatah mam. Do the practice. Abhyas. It's not easy to invest in Bhagwan, right? So Bhagwan said, do the abhyas. And what is abhyas? What we are doing is abhyas. So adhyaya. But you have to do practice. And abhyas means same thing you have to do same way for number of times. That is abhyas. Same thing, same time. That's what we say, like sleep cycle. We talk about our doctors. They say if you want to have a sound sleep, you should maintain the same cycle. Sleep at 10:30, get up at 5:30, whatever. Eat at this time. And then only you get the benefit of that. Same thing with abhyas. Benefit of abhyas comes when we have done it. Like if you have to read Bhagavad Gita, you have to read Bhagavad Gita every day. If we have to do dhyan, we have to do dhyan every day, 3 times, 5 times, whatever we decide. So Bhagavan is saying abhyasa yoga. Arjun, you can practice, right? Practice means again listening to Bhagavan's name. Shravanam, we have the process. Shravanam is listening. Mananam is again regurgitating the teaching, whatever we have heard. Think that, make some notes, read the book or contemplate. And then nididhyasana is imbibe the teaching. The teaching should be part of me. And always give the example with that I have heard, for example, I learned that don't say lie, okay? Or speak the truth always. It's a very easy statement. Speak the truth. Now I get it. Now I have to think that when that what is that truth means. And then when time comes, if I'm able to hold on to that truth, maybe I have to make sacrifices, maybe I have to take hardship for that. But I could practice truth. That is teaching. Same thing here, Bhagwan name, taking Bhagwan name is very easy. But when you start enjoying that, and we'll see at the end what happens, right? So Bhagwan says that is the second. The third, Bhagwan is saying, Abhyase asamarthosi. He said, if you're asamarth in not capable of doing that abhyas also. Suppose you said, oh, I can listen, but I cannot meditate, I cannot do it. So Bhagwan said, mat karmo parabhava. Whatever you're doing, just do it for me. Action everybody has to do. So whatever karma, just do it for me. At least that you can do. And then there is a shlok, we skip that shlok. In Bhagwan says, Sarvabhut hite rata. That was the fourth shlok. You can read later on. Bhagwan says, Te prapnumanti mameva sarvabhut hite rata. The people who are constantly engaged in the welfare of all being through karma, they're dear to me. So Bhagwan, that's why he's saying, if you cannot, say suppose you cannot do practice, you cannot do dhyan, samarpan, okay, whatever you're doing, just surrender to me. That karma for the sake of Bhagwan. We say that also, or do for the sake of God. We say all those statements. He's saying, do it. Do it. That's the third chapter, Karma Yoga for Lok Sangraha. Lok Sangraha means whatever I do is for the benefit of all. Lok means people. So Bhagwan says, okay, then do that. Now next slok, he says 11. Even if you cannot do that also, suppose you say, okay, it is very difficult to give that karma to you. We are doing karma, or I'm doing for Bhagwan. Assume it is difficult for you to comprehend. Next option, he says, Atedat ashaktoasi kartum madhyogam ashritah sarva karma phalatyagam tatah kuru yatatmavan. He said, okay, don't give karma. At least karma phal, the result of that karma, that is give to me. Just whatever result comes, accept it. So Bhagwan, and that is, we call it prasad buddhi also. That, whatever is come, good or bad, favorable, unfavorable, it is just Bhagwan, it is for you. And Bhagwan says, karma phalatyaga. So there are 4 stages. First is samarpan, that nivesh, the investment in Bhagwan. But now we should think this is not 4 options. Bhagwan is giving, but 4 are like the example given by Acharya, it's like 4 legs of a stool or a chair. If you have to pull chair, you pull one leg, all 3 will, the remaining 3 will come to you. Same thing, if we can practice one of this, rest 3 will come. We don't have to worry about so whatever suitable to you. If you think I can do just karma phal tyaga, I can give it to Bhagwan. From tomorrow onward, decide that whatever result comes, it is all given to Bhagwan. Bhagwan says that's fine. So rest 3 will also come to you. And these are the 3 stages of bhakti. And that's what there are whole shastra written on these things. But what a wonderfully Bhagwan has given in 4 shlok. And there is a 12th shlok, which is the summary of not only this chapter, the summary of last stages. It is a summary of entire Bhagavad Gita. So this 12th chapter is part of my everyday puja. So the 12th shlok is very powerful. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyagah, tyaga shanti anantaram. Bhagwan is saying, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Without understanding what you're doing, better try to understand. So Gyan is better than Abhyas. Rather, Abhyas with Gyan is the right way. And then Bhagavan says, Jnana Dhyana Vishishyate. Once you know, Dhyan means you should become part of your, Mananam Nididhyasana. You should comprehend that. Yeah, I know a lot of things. Like, for example, tomato is a fruit. Tomato is not a vegetable, right? It's a fruit. We all know that. But when you make fruit salad, you don't add tomato to fruit salad. It will spoil the fruit salad. Oh, so the tomato is a fruit is a knowledge. But should I put tomato in the fruit salad? That is called Gyan. That comprehension of that information is Gyan. So that's what Bhagavan is saying. And Dhyanat Karma Phalatyaga. Dhyan se you imbibe the teaching karma phal tyag, because that is the highest. How difficult for all of us to give up karma phal. I had done so much hard work. This is me. This is my thing, right? How can I give up? And Bhagavan says, Tyaga Shanti Anantara. Once you do that tyag, karma phala tyag. Tyag in the sense is just whatever comes, I accept it. Prasad buddhi. And then Bhagavan says, Shanti Anantara. Then you get uninterrupted peace. All Shanti, what we all get temporary peace. If something happens, I am happy. Not happen, I am unhappy. Constantly, people have done MRI of our brain, right? A lot of neuroscience. Constantly agitated. Agitated means Ashanti means agitation means Ashanti. Shanti means they have done MRI of some monks who do like Dalai Lama. They went all the way from America to Dharamshala and did MRI of Dalai Lama's brain. And he said, like, it's so peaceful. There's nothing happening in his brain. He's very knowledgeable, but no agitation is in brain. He has thoughts, everything. So Bhagavan, Shanti Anantaram means unagitated state of mind. That's what. And that comes from karma phal tyag. But before karma phal tyag, there is a dhyan. Before dhyan, there is a gyan. Before gyan is abhyas. It's a ladder. 12th slok is a ladder. This is a total adhyatmic sadhana. If you want to decipher, this is it. Any adhyatmic sadhana, 12th slok is the summary of not only Bhagavad Gita, summary of entire Shastras. So with that, Bhagavan, now we'll move next. So Bhagavan told the ways. Now next few slok, which we don't have time to go all from 15th, actually 13th onwards. It's all the attributes of a Bhakt. So there is nothing like Bhakti is a very arbitrary term. Very arbitrary term. There is nothing like, you can't see Bhakti is a form. Anything which is like attributes. When we say he or she is a very nice person, that nice term is a very abstract term. The quality that person shows, this means nice. He's humble. He's a nice person. Humility is a behavior. So we see behavior of those attributes in behavior. Then we say, this. So same thing, the attribute Bhagavan is defining. Those attributes are there. That means you are a Bhakt. And then Bhakti is happening. So Bhakti is a relationship between Bhakt and Bhagavan. We can see that. Here is Bhagavan, he is a Bhakt. Bhakti is a link between Bhakt and Bhagavan. And our Advaita Vedanta with Gita says, Bhagavan says in one of the shlok, 7th chapter, when he is talking about 4 types of Bhakt. He already talked about. He says, Jnani tu atmeva me matam. The Jnani Bhakt, Artharthi Jigyasu and Jnani, is myself. There is no separate Jnani. So that the gap between Bhagavan and Bhakt, that Bhakti gap is just finished. And then they become one. And that is Bhakti. That's right. Still the gap is there. And when this gap is gone, that is Bhakti. So these attributes tell. So the purpose of the telling attribute Bhagavan is that's the whole teaching. That's why we read Bhagavad Gita or any Shastra. They set standards for us. And we should judge ourselves based on this, that do I have this or not? Not 14th chapter. If not 14, then 6. 2 chapters are there where sadhana is given, what to do. 14th chapter we saw like sattva guna has to be increased. And 6th chapter is about sense control, right? Or dhyan or meditation. So but all these qualities will come. So we'll read few of the qualities. And so we don't have time to do all, but we'll read few of the qualities, right? Yeah. So 13th shlok, right? Bhagavan is saying the attributes of a Bhakta. Adveshta sarva bhutanam maitrah karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankarah samadukha sukhakshami. Bhagavan is saying Adveshta. There is a shlok we all say before prayer. Sahanavatu sahano bhunaktu sahaviryam karvavahe tejasvinavaditmastu ma vidvishavahe dvesh. Ma vidvishavahe means I should not have. Dvesh means dislike, we can say, or aversion. So Bhagavan is saying Adveshta sarva. This person has no dislike for sarvabhutanam. anyone. This person has no dislike for anyone. So it's a Maitra Karunacha. Maitra means friendship, Mitrata, we call it. He or she is friend for everyone. Karuna evacha. Karuna means compassion. And it's true. The person who has compassion cannot have any enemy. Because compassion is complete thing. Compassion is not partial. I cannot say I'm compassionate toward this person and I'm discompassionate about you. It's not possible. Compassionate is complete thing. So once you have compassion, you're a friend to everyone. So these are the quality of Bhakta Bhagavan is telling. Nirmamo nirahankara. Nirmamo means mama means mine, selfish. Nirahankara means egoless. And sama dukkha sukha kshami. Kshama. Some means like equanimity. Sukha dukkha. So whether favorable or disfavorable, he or she is always have no anxiety, the peace of mind. Like Kshami. Kshami means forgiving. This person doesn't carry the burden of somebody did something wrong to me. Kshama. For forgiveness, we say, right? So yeah, so we will read whatever time is there. We still have 10 more minutes. So some qualities are pretty good. We should just keep. I mean, you can read all those. There are 20 slok only, 13 to 7 slok, but each slok has 6-7 qualities. Wonderful, right? Now the next slok 14 says, Santushta satatam yogi yatatma dhrada nishchayah maya arpita mano buddhi yo mad bhakta same priya. Same priya means this type of person is priya to me. Anytime we tell someone you're priya to me, the connection is bhakti. Bhakti means prem, like the culmination of prem. There is a difference between Bhagavad Gita student can understand what difference between moh and prem. Moh means attachment. I love my car. You don't love your car. You're attached to your car. Car is a material thing. How do you love your car? It's like so. But we say, oh, I love my car. I love Steelers. Oh, that's you cannot love abstract things. So Bhagavan is saying, love is always between two things which can interact, right? Transact. So Bhagavan is saying, when he says Same Priya, this person is priya to me, means Bhagavan loves. Bhagavan loves means it's both way happening. So Santushta Satatam Yogi. Santusht means contentment. This person is, but look at that, who is saying? Krishna is saying, who is forcing Arjun to go for the war. He is not allowing him to run away. He said, war, Arjun, you have to do that. But at the same time, be santusht. Look at that. One time he's saying you have to finish, and this is like a huge war, Mahabharat. But he says, santusht, you have to be contented with whatever is happening. Nimitta matram means, be the instrument. Yogi, yatatma, dhrada nishchaya, and like firm, determined person. Once a determined person is bhakt, it's the determination for not the wrong thing. The person is the bhakt is a very determined, dhrada nishchaya, pakka. Maya arpit mano buddhi. And of course, we talked about surrender, right? So this is, and then we go to the 15th slok. We'll see whatever time we still have. So Bhagavan's 15th slok says, Yasman no dvijate loko, lokan no dvijate chayah, harsha marsha bhayo dvegehi, mukto yah sachame priya. Wonderful slok. So Bhagavan, there is a word called udvij. Udvij means agitation. So Bhagavan is saying this person is not agitated by anyone. Yasmano udvijite loko, lokano udvijite se. And nobody gets agitated by this person. You know, we all feel like, oh, some of our friend or some people who come and we say, oh, I want to spend more time with this person. And sometimes some person comes, he said, I just want to let this person go. I don't want to spend time. So you feel agitated. So this person, Bhakt, is like that. He doesn't get agitated by anyone and nobody gets agitated by him. That is Bhakt. And then next slok, I mean, there are multiple qualities. You can read later on, but we'll have to skip some of those, right? And then Bhagavan says, 16 slok, Anapeksha Shuchirdaksha Udasino Gatavyatah Sarvarambha Parityagi Yo Mad Bhakta Same Priya. Same Priya. Bhagavan is always using that person is priya to me. Priya means dear to me. And it's like a both way. So Bhagavan is saying, Anapeksha Shuchirdaksha. Anapeksha, apeksha means we are expecting something. So this person, Look at these qualities, Bhagavan is defining, but they come out of the sadhana. I mean, and once you have these qualities, you are a Bhakt. And Bhakt is always free from all the anxiety and everything. Bhakt is in total anand. So anapeksha, apeksha means expectation. So this person doesn't expect things from others. See, because if you remember, there is a 55 shlok or second chapter where Bhagavan described the quality of sthit prajna. There is a shlok which says, Atmanneva Atmanatushtaha. Means this person is happy within herself or himself with no outside help. Most of us are dependent. So that's what we say, that if my happiness is dependent on something external, then that external thing is, nothing is permanent other than Bhagavan. So as long, if my happiness is depending on Bhagavan, which is fine, but other than Bhagavan, my happiness is dependent on anything in this world, it is not guaranteed, because that other thing is also temporary. So this person, Bhagavan says, that's what you don't expect anything from anyone. This person is help. Whatever I have, santushta, I am happy. I am contentment. And then he says, Shuchir Daksha, but this person is Shuchir means pure, Daksh means skillful. So he's that again, reminding that he's giving those qualities, but it's not just Bhakti is sitting somewhere and not doing anything and just doing Majira. No. Bhagwan's Krishna's Bhakti is always ready to. That's Arjuna. He said, finish the war. It's like that. So Bhagwan's Bhakti is Shuchir Daksha. Shuchir means pure. Daksh means skillful. Always agile. The word agile used. So Bhagwan's Bhakti is agile, ready to do action. But at the same time, very humble, very happy, very contented. Udasino gatavyatha. And then Sarvarambha Parityagi. So Sarvarambha Parityagi means he or she'll work, but again, like Nimitta Matram, Bhagavan says, don't just be the instrument. Don't try to say, oh, I am doing it. Because the reason of that is because the moment I say I am doing it, there is an ego and no guarantee in this world that what you say is going to happen as you want. And then you get agitated. And ego is, we all know that. I mean, there is a whole description of ahankar some other time, but we all know that ego is the worst weakness we all have to carry forward. We all have ego, we are born with that. But that's the whole goal, to nirmamo nirahankara. Nirahankara means they drop the ego. And it's like a burden. And the example given, if I had to swim in the river, and if somebody ties like a 50-ton weight to my body, I cannot swim. Because the first condition of swimming is that you should be very light. Nothing should be on your body, just swim. And the ego is like that. In this life, we can be happy. But the problem, ego is like the weight. And we want to swim across this life, or we call it Sansara Sagar. We cannot with this heavy weight attached to the body. That ego is that heavy weight. So Bhagavan is saying, Sarvarambha Parityagi. Don't take the charge of things that, oh, I am doing that. It's like that. Yad Samay Priya. Bhagavan says, Yo Bad Bhakta. Aisa jo, that kind of bhakti is priya to me. The next slok, a few more minutes, then I'll summarize, right? So let's see. Yeah. So 19th slok, I'm skipping 2 more slok, right? So 19th slok is nice. Tulya ninda stutir mauni santushto yena kena chita aniketa sthirmatihi bhaktiman me priyo nara. He is balanced in both. So typically, tulya means the balance, ninda and stuti. Ninda means praise, stuti is criticism. We all know that during the life we go around in the world, wherever. Sometimes people will praise you, sometimes people will criticize you. This is all we all face during the day, right? And we get disturbed because the moment is like that. The example is given. Somebody told he was walking with his guru Swami, and then maybe his friend or somebody was walking, and he said, "Oh, this guy is a gadha, like gadha in Hindi said donkey, right? We say in Hindi gadha. This guy is a gadha or donkey." And this person, like he was walking with his guru, so he didn't want to react, but still reacted. But Somebody is saying publicly you're a Gada. So then his guru said, why are you getting so agitated? He said, Swamiji, like in the public place, he's saying. So then Swamiji, is he right or wrong? Your friend, you're saying you Gada. So if he's right, that means you yourself treat yourself as Gada, right? If not, then why do you worry? If you're not a Gada or stupid, then why do you worry? Let him say. And that's what Bhagavan is saying. Tulya ninda astutirmoni. People will criticize, they may praise you. But you just be equipoised, because it's like that. There was a quote by Buddha, right? If somebody throws anger at you, anyway, that person has hurt himself or herself by being angry and throwing anger on you. Why do you take somebody else's anger on you? Just ignore it. And that is called Tullindas ceremony. And Bhagavan says, Santushto, we already talked about. Yena kena. Aniketa. Niket means a possession. And in his pure Indian language or Hindi, we call it Niket means a place of living, or house. So he's saying Aniketa. You still, it's a very powerful word. You live in the house, but it is not my house. It's like that. How difficult it is to, but that's the quality of Bhakt. Bhagavan is saying. There is a bhajan, Vaishnav Janto Tene. You can read that bhajan some other time, but that whole bhajan is out. Vaishnav Janto Tene Kahiye, Peer Parai Janare. But the entire bhajan, Bhagavan is saying, that Narsi Mehta is saying, the person who has all these qualities is Vaishnavjan. Vaishnavjan means who's dear to Bhagavan. That entire bhajan, what Bhagavan is saying here in simple language, right? Aniketa. I live in the house, but it's like that. Boat is supposed to float on the water. It is supposed to. It is meant to do that. Boat is meant so that it can float. But water should not be in the boat. Boat should be in the water, but water should not be in the boat. That's what, like Aniketa. I live in the house, but house doesn't live in me. And this happens to all of us. There is a story, very quickly I'll go. This guy has signed like he was selling a house, this house, and then the deal was done, like house for sale and everything done, Howard Hanna, and he got the text message, this house is sold, the deal is done, the contract is signed, the buyer has paid the money. And the moment he got the text, and there was a fire in the house. And then for a minute he says, oh, there is a fire. And he said, oh, now the house is sold, let's not move. No. So he's okay. Then he said, okay, now it's not my house. So the fire is there. Then his son came, hold on, Dad, something happened. What happened? The contract got cancelled. The buyer withdrew the money from bank. Now he'd look at the house, he started crying. Now this is again my house. Within a minute ago, because there is a text deal was done, I had no problem when seeing burning the house. Now this house has become, I started crying. And that is Aniketa. This person may say that if there is a real Bhakta, there is a saying, we say that, right? There is a fire in the house, what? And then he recovers, he or she, and says, so what? Whatever happens, it happens. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Sthirmati. This person's mati means that same again, state of mind is very balanced. And Bhagavan says, me priyo nara. That person is very dear to me. So all these qualities, we have completed almost 20. So we'll summarize this chapter. This is a wonderful chapter. We can read later on. But the key here is relationship of Bhakta and Bhagavan. That is the key here. And we all have to, so we'll go over some of the examples now. And that's where Hindu Sanatan Dharma stands out. It's not that I'm saying others are not good. We are not analyzing. But the beauty of Sanatan, it has given us freedom to talk to Bhagavan directly. We don't need, of course, we have channels, but you don't need any. Bhagavad Gita, this chapter, Bhagavan says, you don't need any channel. And Bhagavan is all over. You don't have to worry about, I have to, this particular Tirth, Bhagavan is there. There are reasons for, there is a Jyotirling, 12 are there, and there are, that Vaishno Devi is there, and Tirupati is there. But let's not get confused that Bhagavan is in Tirupati. There is a reason for Tirupati. Let's not get confused. Bhagavan is in, after reading this chapter or Bhagavad Gita and following what Bhagavan Krishna is saying, yeah, Vaishno Devi is there, but Devi is not there in Vaishno Devi. Devi, you just close your eyes and Devi is here, all pervading. That's what he's saying. Bhagavan is all pervading. That's the term we have used. Brahman. Brahman means ever expanding, all pervading. And there is a term called Bhag. Bhag is a Sanskrit word. Bhag means there are 6 attributes they make Bhag, which is, there is a definition. Bhag asya sthiti iti Bhagwan. Shri, Aishwarya, Kirti, Balam, Gyan, Vairagya. If the 6 qualities are there, they call Bhag. The one who has these 6 qualities is Bhagwan. So, but you, again, as I said, the quality you have to see in a person. So that's why we got avatar. Or Durga has Bal, and Krishna or Ram, whatever, the Gyan, Vairagya, Bhagwan Shiv, Vairagya. So that's the reason we have came up with this form. And that's what Bhagwan says in the beginning of the chapter. Arjun, you can worship both, manifest or unmanifest. As long as you have Shraddha, that's fine. But it's easy for the people who are bodily like us to have Bhagwan in the form. So it's easy. They have avapyate. The people who have body. And that's the reason Bhagwan says you can easy to worship, but the process is same. Abhyas, Dhyan, Gyan, Dhyan, Karma Phal Tyag. Whether you have many Hanumanji or no Hanumanji, doesn't matter. Bhakta can be without Hanumanji also, but the process is same and the attributes are same. Samo Shatrecha Mitrecha Tulyananda Astutirmoni. And that comes through sadhana. And sadhana again, 6th chapter and 14th chapter. Bhagavan has very clearly listed. There are steps there. And then only you get this quality. And Bhagavan says, once you have this quality, you and me are same. So there is a, so we'll summarize. In Gita, we call it Karma Yoga, right? It's very famous. Everybody knows Karma Yoga. And we saw the 3rd chapter, right? So Karma Yoga is again Swadharma, without self involved in that, without the doership, the state. I'm just doing the karma for the sake of Bhagavan. Here also Bhagavan says. So Karma Yoga says that Bhagavan is facilitator, not the controller, not the giver. The result will be based on you, whatever your action. Bhagavan is a facilitator. Bhagavan helps. And that is called Prasad Buddhi. That's the word Prasad has come in Hindu, right? When we go to Mandir, we are, it is said right from our childhood that you don't come out of Mandir without taking the Prasad. We don't leave the Mandir without taking the Prasad. And whatever is offered, we take it. From the childhood, we are taught that Panditji or whatever, they give mishri or they give apple or they may give the almond or anything or chana, you take it because it's prasad. Prasad means the blessings. Prasad, another word is prasad is shanti. So just accept it. So that is called prasad buddhi. So karma yoga, when karma yoga is added with prasad buddhi, it becomes bhakti. It's that simple. I can do karma yoga, everything, and I'm very hardworking and I can be result oriented. That's fine. But if I have that prasad buddhi, whatever comes, it is Bhagwan's wish. Ramji ki marji, we call it, right? It is Bhagwan's wish. Accept it. And that is called prasad buddhi. Then karma yoga become bhakti yoga. So that's what I said. There is no karma separate. There is no bhakti. Then second, we call it Gyan yoga. So Gyan yoga is Bhagwan and me, Bhagwan and I am not separate. We call it Atma Ek, because when I say Atma Gyan means Paramatma and Atma is same thing. So ultimately, that is the whole teaching is Tattvamasi. Means you are that. You are that Bhagwan. There is no separate Bhagwan. Aham Brahmasmi at the. And when we meditation, when we do, at the last stage comes where there is only one. Either you are left or Bhagwan. There are not two. And that is called Gyan Yoga. When Bhagwan and me are one. And that is called Yukta Buddhi. Yukta means constantly engaged in the thought that I am that Bhagwan, or Bhagwan is in me, or I am in Bhagwan. That is engaged, Yukta Buddhi. So when Gyan Yoga has Yukta Buddhi, it becomes Bhakti. Because Bhagavan is there, right? You become Bhakt. So that's what it is. There is no separate Karma Yoga. There is no separate Jnana Yoga. There is no separate Bhakti. All are one. Because ultimately it is all Bhakti. It is all that Samarpan to Bhagavan. It is devoted. So there is a shlok in Hindi. But anyway, so before that, I'll tell you what is the advantage of that having the Murti. One of very quick example, Tom Brady, the quarterback of Patriot, when he won Super Bowl 7 times, that even though was in the press followed him, and he opened his locker and there was a little Ganesha there, Ganesh. And they asked, is this Ganesha? What do you have Ganesha in your locker? And he said, I don't know. One of my friend gave me, I feel good. I feel good. So when person who is a non-Hindu, he has no, and a lot of people use, and I know I have some Muslim friends, they have the Om and Ganesh at home because they feel good. That is the beauty, right? For us, it is Bhagwan in the form. I write Ganeshji is my Bhagwan. I have made. So that is what Bhagwan is. So Bhagwan can be in any form. And that's what Bhagwan says. It's easy for you. So I will stop here with a Hindi. I'll translate in English. Where is Bhagwan? That's the question. So Bhagwan is not separate. So कण कण में तुझे ढूंढा तेरा पता नहीं. कण कण means every particle. I search you in every particle. कण कण में तुझे ढूंढा तेरा पता नहीं है. I didn't find it. But तेरा पता मिला तो मेरा पता नहीं है. Once I found you, I lost myself. So because two cannot be there. And I went, and that is the sadhana. Once the sadhana reaches the ultimate, there is no separate bhakt nahi to Bhagwan. Bhakti makes Bhagwan and Bhakt one. And that is this chapter, Bhakti Yoga. And Bhagwan says that this is the goal of that. That's what Bhaj means, sharing. And sharing means Bhagwan and Bhakt are sharing one common identity. So through bhakti, and that's what we ultimate our we say Aham Brahmasmi. It's not an egoistic statement. It is a statement where I have melt myself into Brahman. It is not I have made myself Brahman. There is a difference here. If I say I have made myself Brahman, then there is a ahankar here. No, I have melt myself into Brahman. I am lost. कण कण में तुझे ढूंढा तेरा पता नहीं है और तेरा पता मिला तो मेरा पता नहीं. I don't exist. Because it's either you exist or me. That is bhakti. And that is this chapter. Wonderful chapter in the middle. So next time we'll meet, we'll go to the 15th chapter. 15, 16 are little, some additional thing Bhagavan is going to touch. And at the 18th chapter is going to summarize again. So with that, I think we'll stop here and just do the prayer. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. बोली कृष्ण कन्हैया लाल की जय. हरि ओम. So see you next week with the 15th chapter. If 13th and 15th, yeah, we'll do 2 chapters. Yeah, Hari Om. So you can read all these qualities at home next by week. Wonderful qualities, and then see. Bhagwan will appear in all of us. That's the goal, right? Okay, Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna. Shubh
Jai Shri Krishna.
Arpit right, mommy makes the best chivda.